So, Marvel's Avengers game. I'm not excited by that trailer shown at E3. I felt very disappointed, and this is coming from someone who loves the Spider-Man game made by Insomniac. Like, when I first saw the trailer for that Spider-Man game, I was like, whoa, this looks incredible. And I tell you, the first time I watched the Avengers trailer, and the first couple of seconds go by, and I saw the Quinjet, I got this sinking feeling of like, this might not be worth the 2-year wait that we had to endure. I see the Quinjet, and I'm like, well, the graphics, they don't look exactly how I expected them to look. Something felt off. And then as the trailer continued to go on, it was a really mixed bag of things. First of all, the character designs are really bland and uninspired. We have Captain Midlife Crisis, we have Beefy Jesus, and we have Lord Farquaad. I mean, the characters, I don't understand what was going through their minds when they were designing these people. Iron Man looks okay, nothing wrong, and I think Hulk and Bruce Banner look okay. But Black Widow, Captain America, and Thor just don't look good. I don't know what's wrong with Black Widow's face. Sometimes they use models to, model the character after them. And if they did that, then I'm sure they didn't do a good job because it just doesn't look right. Something feels really off. When you see people modeled after real actors in video games, usually it's very easily able to tell, like, oh, this is how they would probably look like in real life. And I'm telling you, I don't think that anyone really looks like that. It just doesn't look right to me. And with Captain America, his suit just doesn't look right. It makes his head look too small. I don't know if it's actually the suit making him look so wide like that, or if that's just the way he is, but he doesn't look right. And then Thor just, I don't know, he looks really off. The plates on his chest armor look too big or something, and he looks too wide. He almost kind of looks like a mixture of regular Thor and then Fat Thor from Endgame. It's really weird. And then on top of that, all of the hair designs are kind of early PS4 era. I wouldn't say PS3 era, because if you look at PS3 hair, it doesn't look good. But this is like a step above that, but we're talking like first games for the PS4 hair. Thor's beard, Black Widow's hair, none of it looks right. And if you compare it to Marvel's Spider-Man game, it's just miles better. I don't understand quite what they were thinking with these character models. It's very strange. And then you have to look at who's behind this game. Square Enix and Eidos Montreal. Square Enix and Eidos Montreal created the Tomb Raider reboot games. And they also do Final Fantasy, which is like the main thing with their showcase at E3. It's like, alright, Final Fantasy, I get it. Let's move on to the Avengers. I know people like Final Fantasy, but it doesn't have to take up the whole show. But that's besides the point. So, those people are the ones that made those games, and I really like the first 2 Tomb Raider reboots. The third Tomb Raider game, which had heavy involvement from Eidos Montreal, sucked. It was really bad. And also Crystal Dynamics is in this whole thing too. Forgot to mention them. So Shadow of the Tomb Raider was just a very bad game in my opinion. I love the first 2 Tomb Raider games of the reboot trilogy. Shadow of the Tomb Raider was just awful. So it made me a little concerned after playing that game, being like, oh, well, these are the people that are going to be making the Avengers game. So you have that to worry about with, like, okay, they're coming off of a so-so game, a lot of mixed reactions. I mean, there's a lot of people that are saying, oh, I love Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but there's quite a large chunk of people that feel like me with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It wasn't really a good game. The people that do like it are more puzzle-solving people, I noticed. They really don't care about anything but the puzzle-solving. Oh, the puzzle-solving's great. It's a great game because the puzzle-solving is great. Otherwise, there's nothing great about the game. I think the graphics are a little bit of a step down compared to the second game. I mean, there's some improvements in some areas, but if you just look at I guess the art style of the second game, it just feels a lot more natural compared to the third. So I was already a little hesitant heading into the trailer. I was pumped at first, but then I was like, oh, they made Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and then they come out with this trailer, which is just, I don't know what is going on. It just doesn't feel right. I did not get hyped at all. Now, if you look at the environment graphics seem okay. They actually seem really good. When you have the little bit of gameplay footage on the bridge of like Iron Man and Hulk, everything looks great. When you look at the wide shot of just seeing, San Francisco, and you see the hover carrier, what's it called? The helicarrier. The helicarrier. So when you see the helicarrier, it looks good. But then you look at the characters, and it looks like something out of like a different style of game. It doesn't feel realistic. So like the environment feels realistic, but then the characters don't feel realistic. And it just really baffles me why they would go that direction with this art style for the characters. It just doesn't look right. The Spider-Man characters had a realistic look to them. Of course, video game graphics aren't quite there yet, but it still has that realistic look. For the Avengers game, it looks stylized for some reason. I don't know if other people are kind of viewing it that way as well, but now see, Bruce Banner, I think he looks okay. He looks normal. But some of these other characters, they just don't look right, especially Captain America and Thor. And Lord Farquaad, of course. But, so I watched the trailer, I was disappointed, and I just wanted to give my thoughts on that. I mean, hopefully they'll come out with some gameplay. Maybe things will be great. Maybe this will be a great game. Maybe, they have a year to work on the graphics. Maybe they'll make some changes, some tweaks. And then we've got a beta coming out at some point before release as well. So we'll be able to give feedback on that. But that's just my thoughts on the initial trailer. And when you show a trailer like this without actual gameplay, this is going to be the response you're going to get. People are going to focus on the graphics, the art style, and so far that's all we can talk about is the graphics and the art style. I mean, we saw little snippets of gameplay that were like, oh, here's 2 seconds of gameplay, and then back to cutscenes, and then, oh, here's a second and a half of gameplay, and then back to cutscenes. So, can't really talk about the gameplay that much. Black Widow's running looked a little weird, but, it was half a second, so I really can't judge that. But that's my thoughts on the graphics and the character design. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Maybe you think the complete opposite. Let me know and why you think that way. And that's just my thoughts. I had to get that out there because I was feeling a little frustrated. As I see a lot of other people are too, so I'm definitely not the only one. But I know there are people who think it looks great too. So if you feel differently, let me know. And if you feel the same, let me know. It's always great to read some comments in the comments section. Make sure to leave a like as well if you enjoyed this and you do agree with me and just want to give me a like. And make sure to subscribe as well for more video game content. I do a lot of PlayStation VR stuff if you're new here. And until next time, see you guys.